Good morning, everyone. The time now, 8:05 here. We appreciate you for tuning in on First Alert Live. Wherever you're watching from, thanks for starting your Tuesday morning here with us. And do want to encourage you, we are on Facebook. We're also live on WMBFnews.com. If you have a question that you might want answered, we will be glad to answer that for you. You could comment there on our Facebook Live right now, and I'll go back kind of recirculate through some of these that are coming in as well. Obviously, if you missed it, WMBF First Alert Weather Day issued for tomorrow. Also dealing with some of that dense smoke that has been across the region and causing still a couple of slowdowns along 501, but over the past hour has improved drastically. 501 at Waccamaw Pines was really what I was calling the trouble spot this morning. That looks to be a lot better. You'll notice, though, just off the distance, still poor air quality, not to mention some of that lingering smoke sitting around at least for the next 30 minutes to an hour. As we'll begin to warm up, we'll start to see that smoke lift out of here and see some major improvements, I think, closer to 9 o'clock, not to mention as we go through the middle of the morning. Temperature-wise, going to be comfortable after another cool start, starting in the 30s this morning. For many of you, we were in the 40s near the beaches. We'll climb all the way into the upper 50s. A few areas of sunshine early on will eventually give way to more cloud cover as we go throughout the day, but still obviously monitoring the wildfire threat as first responders and crews continue to try to get this fire fully contained over there in the Carolina Forest area all the way up toward International Drive. If you missed it, the fire conditions for today, no rain in the forecast. Unfortunately, the wind going to start to return and become a little bit more breezy as we head into the day. We're talking wind gusts of 15 to 25 miles per hour. The winds will be out of the southeast, so what that means is we will actually look at any of that smoke to travel inland as we go into this afternoon. But I do think we see a little bit of some flare-ups from time to time, and also keep in mind first responders standing by for where those flare-ups would be. Talked to a lot of them yesterday, said they anticipated those to happen today. Didn't see as many as they thought they would yesterday, but they do expect with that wind picking up to see some of those issues. Humidity-wise, higher humidity levels this morning, but by the time we head into the afternoon, humidity certainly not dry, but it's also not going to be enough to completely end any of those wildfire threats, as there's still several hot spots. And if you know the area, especially over there in Carolina Forest, just the soil that it's built on, some of the underlying brush, very easy once a fire or hot spot is there to get some flare-ups, especially with wind. That's going to be coming. Temperatures today, like we said, very comfortable. Obviously, poor air quality here in Horry County. I would limit your time outside, especially if you don't have to be out or if you have some of those respiratory issues. Notice by the time you move inland, like into Florence and Marion and Darlington, it's the upper 60s and lower 70s that will come in. Of course, tomorrow, all eyes focused on the wind. And that is why we have declared tomorrow a WMBF First Alert Weather Day. You'll notice there for your fire forecast on Wednesday, 45 mile per hour gust. Now, yes, we are going to be getting some showers and storms as we go into the day on Wednesday. That will provide some temporary relief when it comes to the wildfires. However, there is a growing concern that as we go throughout the morning tomorrow, before any of the showers and before any of the storms roll in, that we will have the potential for winds to gust to 40, 45, maybe even isolated 50 mile per hour wind gusts here as we go into tomorrow morning, ahead of any shower and ahead of any storm. Obviously, before the rain falls, that's where I think we're going to have the greatest threat for flare-ups with these fires, and also some trouble for first responders who are trying to contain this to the best of their ability. So, new for you, if you missed it, a level 3 severe weather risk has been issued overnight. We were the first in town to let you know about that level 3 severe weather risk. And we are, of course, going to continue to keep an eye very closely on this level 3 severe weather risk. And if you hear us say level 3, you might say, well, what exactly does that mean? Basically, if we were to tell you there's a medium chance of severe weather in your area, how would you prepare? Obviously, it's not a high chance, but the chances are there. And I think what will be a big determining factor in just how widespread severe weather is tomorrow is how much of this wind energy just above the surface can we get to mix down toward the ground. Now, we've had a lot of upper level winds before, and typically with these setups, it's a lot of wind and a lot less storm fuel. You've probably heard us say those words before. Typically what happens is we'll have a lot of gusty wind throughout the morning. We'll have a line of showers that roll through here, and we'll have the occasional warning or two with wind gusts of 50 to 60 miles per hour. That's about what we're going to be looking at as we go into that forecast. Now, there will be a small window of opportunity of an isolated tornado. At this point, I think the greatest tornado threat still sits off to our north and sits off to our northeast. But we'll watch it closely. You'll notice as we go throughout the morning tomorrow, we'll look at windy conditions, but we'll look at the first round of showers starting to slide into the western portion of our viewing area by 10 o'clock. Darlington County, Florence County, Williamsburg County. You'll pick up on those showers first. This should be a line of showers and storms that sustains itself overnight and continues to work its way across the Midlands and eventually into the PD and into the Grand Strand. I would say if you're here in Horry County, latest data likes the idea of you picking up on rain starting around noon and continuing through 1, 2, potentially 3 o'clock before we finally get this line of showers and storms out of here and we begin to look at, once again, improving conditions for the rest of the day. Still breezy on your Wednesday, but improving conditions nonetheless. So what do you need to know? How are we going to prepare for this? Well, first and foremost, if you haven't downloaded the WMBF First Alert Weather app, it is super easy to do so. You can actually scan the QR code that we have when it comes to it, and I'll pull this up. And, of course, the best part about it is we will do the work for you. You download the app, you make sure your location's turned on, make sure the notifications are turned on, and we'll be good to go. Winds will increase starting this afternoon, but the worst of the wind arrives tomorrow, and a few strong storms will be possible throughout the day on Wednesday. Notice I'm not saying this is going to be widespread severe weather, but I think it's widespread wind, and the occasional severe thunderstorm warning can't be ruled out with winds of 50 to 60 miles per hour and, of course, a quick spin-up tornado. The rainfall, yes, will help. There's no denying that. The problem is it's not going to be enough rainfall to end the wildfire threat completely and also to even put a dent into the ongoing drought. I think if we're lucky enough, half an inch of rain is about what we pick up on. If we're really lucky enough, those isolated higher amounts of 1 inches fall on places like Carolina Forest. We'll see how that kind of transpires tomorrow. I would say a general half an inch of rain to an inch, if you're lucky, will obviously help, but certainly won't put everything out. And fire crews and first responders will still need to be out there. So hopefully that helps answer some of those questions. Your 7-day forecast, once we get past Wednesday, yes, sunshine will return. I think winds are still breezy on Thursday. I still think we're watching a wildfire threat for the end of the week, Thursday and Friday. And then by the time we transition into Saturday, some warmer weather will come back in. And our next system, our next weather maker that we're giving you the first alert to, arrives on Sunday. There's some big disparities when it comes to some of the model data. One model likes the idea of some widespread showers. The other kind of keeps that system to our south. So until we can get some better agreement, we'll keep that rain scattered but cooler for your Sunday. You'll notice next week temperatures should rebound nicely. We'll warm back up into the upper 70s, right around 80 degrees as you move inland before another system comes in on Thursday, as we're kind of in that very active weather pattern with systems pretty frequent around this time of year. Also, want to give you a live look from our Seat Captain's House Skycam. Yeah, a breezy wind out there, and you can see some of that smoke still lingering on North Myrtle Beach, showing some of that smoke off in the distance as well. We'll keep you posted as we go throughout the day, but for now, enjoy the sunshine while we have it. Of course, limit your time outside, and more updates coming your way on WMBF News and WMBFnews.com.